What's up, Fragrance family? Tommy with Studio Sense here. Thanks for stopping by, because today we're going to be talking about some new releases that are available now. I don't know why I'm pointing up. I guess maybe that's where you'll see the liner notes of the video where I have these things linked. So we've got some new fragrances that are available now if you want to purchase them. And we've got one that I'm going to be talking about today that was recently announced, I should say. And hasn't been released yet. Don't know when it's going to be coming out, probably very soon. I'll give you some additional information about these three fragrances that we'll be talking about. That and more is coming up, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back, fragrance fans. I don't know what you got going on today, but I'm really happy that you're stopping by. We've got three fragrances that we're going to be talking about a little bit in detail. At least I'm going to share with you guys what I know about them. A couple of them are already available for purchase now on the sites listed below. The first fragrance that I want to talk about, though, isn't available yet anywhere. Remember this particular release that happened not super long ago by Calvin Klein? Yes, that's right, Defy, which was kind of sort of their answer to a blue genre fragrance similar to YSLY or maybe Fierce or First Instinct by Abercrombie & Fitch, or really any number of blue fragrances. They kind of wanted to compete. Now, Calvin Klein isn't a slouch when it comes to number of releases, so it's not quantity, it's quality that's always been kind of the issue, or my issue, I should say, with Calvin Klein. I think they've done a really good job, however, in balancing cheapy fragrances, really inexpensive fragrances, with a kind of a decent aroma or a decent projection or body. Longevity, not necessarily so much, because again, you pay for something that lasts longer, right? The more you pay for it, typically the better longevity you get. That's usually the case anyway when it comes to fragrances. But they did a decent job with Defy, the eau de toilette, and then shortly thereafter, and in following suit, and that whole EDT, EDP, Parfum, or Extrait de Parfum, they released the Eau de Parfum version. This was kind of a surprise to me. I really like this, as it's a blue yet leather-esque kind of version of Defy, and now they have announced that they're going to be releasing Defy Parfum. That's right, they're following the whole fragrance hierarchy and going on down the line. Now they're going to be releasing a Parfum edition. Now this is what they say about Defy, the Parfum edition. I'm just reading it directly off my phone here. It says, it's intense, defiant, sensual. Calvin Klein Defy Parfum is a new men's perfume for the ultimate rebel. Even more daring, the premium CK fragrance for men encompasses the same signature woody DNA of the original, with an unexpected and captivating warmer and darker twist. So what's this new warmer and darker twist? Well, it kind of reminds me a bit of Carolina Herrera and the Bad Boy line, what they did with Bad Boy. And that is they threw some different notes in there that are in the base, and that's what they're doing here. They're using chocolate. Cocoa. They describe it as a burst of mandarin and cardamom oil paired with lavender and cocoa shell creates a powerful and addictive new scent. Cocoa, sometimes referred to as cacao, which is the raw version, cocoa being the finished version, which is typically used in fragrance. The fragrance opens with a bright and luminous pink pepper note. At the heart, lavender adds a natural freshness. And at the base of the Calvin Klein fragrance, responsibly sourced, upcycled cocoa shells. I don't know all about that responsibly sourced upcycled, right? I guess nobody broke a fingernail, I don't know. Adds a rich gourmand depth which smells incredible. Crafted to evoke Calvin Klein's minimalistic and monochromatic design codes, the luxurious bottle has been updated with a deep navy glass and textured matte blue cap. The packaging is a celebration of Calvin Klein's brand codes, elevated, minimal, and ultra sophisticated. So, more daring and confident than ever, he fully embraces his journey of defiance, dare to defy with this new Calvin Klein perfume for men. So, its classification is that of an aromatic, gourmand, woody fragrance. So just adding cocoa in a fragrance makes it gourmand apparently, but I'm hoping that it actually is kind of sort of going in that direction. Have you noticed that a lot of fragrances released this summer have been cold weather fragrances? Oh, that's not a mistake. It might be kind of a misjudgment in terms of timing, but gourmand fragrances, heavier fragrances, fragrances that are sweeter are definitely trending, are definitely popular. And so I think it was a good, kind of a good call for them to go that direction with Defy Parfum. And so looking forward to that one. That one's going to be one that you want to keep your eye on. Now, the bottle that you're seeing in my introduction there for this is just it's a mock-up that I created. I know it's terrible. I haven't been able to find anything on the internet above the very, very tiny 50 ml version, which I've shown you and I'll show you here. But yeah, so I just created this mock-up, which again is not very well done. I admit that, but at least it's the full size. That's 100 ml size. Now I'm sure they're going to release it in 100 ml size, but all we have to look at now is, you know, at least in terms of beyond my concept, is that 50 ml size. So if you're interested in Defy, if you're a fan of Defy, or if you're a fan of gourmand fragrances, keep your eye on Defy Parfum. The next new release I want to talk about is actually from Tom Ford. It's from the Private Blend collection, and it's actually a remake of an original 2010 fragrance, and that is Azure Lime. Now, the interesting thing, I'll show you the original Azure Lime bottle here. I think maybe one reason they're remaking it was kind of a terrible visual or optic decision to create a lime fragrance in a brown bottle. That doesn't really make sense. I think maybe the idea was to go along with the other releases of that same ilk or color so that it didn't clash. Because now they can go full on lime colored. The lime is in the name. Why not have the presentation match the name? So the brand new Azure Lime is in the new Private Blend bottle. They all look the same with the exception of color. I really like this color and I love the look of the bottle. It does sound like they're re-upping the formula though. They are in the top keeping that wild mint and lime infusion. So you've got mint and lime. They're minimalizing that heart though. They're keeping that South African boohoo, and then violet leaves in the heart, and then Australian sandalwood and oak wood in the base. So they're keeping some of the notes, but minimalizing it. So it's going to be a fresher edition, not only in presentation, but also in the actual fragrance formula. So that is available now. I have linked it below if you want to check out Tom Ford's Azure Lime. And I think that's available at Harrods. Comparable to the inimitable class of a Mediterranean villa, something having to do with water and sunshine and lime and citrus. The third one and final one that I do want to talk about is one from Montale. It also is available, and I believe that one is at Harrods. And it is called Montale Oud Island. Now, Montale, as you well know, is all about the oud. There's oud rising. What is it? Oudacy was the previous one. So Montale is all about that oud, and I think this one is going to be really, really good. You can even actually wear something like this in the cooler nights of summer. Just like all Montale fragrances, if not most, it is a unisex fragrance. This is what they have to say about it. Travel in time and space to Saudi Arabia. Montale's founder, Pierre Montale, used to create custom fragrances for the royal family in Saudi Arabia. But when he finally returned to Paris, he wanted to create a scent that encompassed the wonder and beauty of the region for the Western world. The result is the Oud Island Eau de Parfum, with notes of vanilla, amber, and labdanum. But that's not all that's in it. Its classification is that of an aromatic woody fragrance with top notes of Sicilian bergamot, sparkling tangerine, Italian lemon, followed by heart notes of Nepalese oud, black leather, solar tiara flower, Indian tuberose, warm sandalwood, and base notes of warm vanilla, oriental labdanum, sensual musks, intense tobacco, and dry amber. I usually just say amber tobacco, and I don't put the adjective before it, but I read it straight from the marketing material. So that's going to be pretty interesting. Anything with oud and tobacco and also some citrus notes in the open and the top, I can definitely get behind. If you're interested in Oud Island, pick it up at Harrods, link below. Well, guys, that's it for our brief what's happening in men's fragrance. I know I usually go over a lot more, but I didn't want to cram too much into a little bit of time. Tell me in the comments below which one of these you're most interested in, or if there is another release that I didn't cover, which there are several more that I'm going to cover in the future. Let me know what you're most juiced about. Thanks so much for stopping by to tune in today. As always, thank you so much for your continued support on my channel. I'm Tommy with Studio Sense, and I'll see you tomorrow with another video review.